Welcome to the Trust Factor Podcast, the only podcast that guarantees your success when you implement its divine age-old teachings. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Trust Factor Podcast. Today's episode, why tribulations? Why do they come? Why do we have to deal with them? And what would we hear if our Creator would speak in our ear? What would the words be? Very powerful stuff, my friends. It's going to be a good day. Welcome to Monday. We are on to the third level of Emuna, the highest level. We're venturing in here. Not to say that you have to be on this level in order to be holding and join us in this process, but it will give you some insight into where we need to be, how we need to work on ourselves, and what levels we are capable of achieving. Just as a quick reminder, we said that the highest level is knowing what the message is. We're getting messages from our Creator. What are those messages? How do we interpret them? We're interacting in this world. Every single day that we're here, we're meeting people. We're coming across circumstances and situations. We're put in challenging situations. And we know that those challenging situations were specifically designed for us. But why and how? What's the message? And why is it that specific tribulation? It's not random. There's no coincidences. We know that. So absolutely everything that happens to us every day has a message in it. It's a guiding path. It's like the lights on the floor in an airplane that show you the emergency exit. You need to follow those lights. That's what this life is all about, is figuring out the right path. And sometimes it's illuminated. The way he illuminates that path is by giving us the tribulations that point us in a certain direction. So now it's our job to understand and interpret those lights and interpret the message. We know that the 30,000 foot level idea is that the reason he puts us through these tribulations is to build our relationship with him, to bring us closer to him, to keep us constantly engaged in that relationship. Oh, I've got a challenge. I can't meet this challenge without my Creator. Even though you think you can, you don't even attempt it. Your natural default position is to say, challenge, where's my Creator? Challenge, where's my Creator? Not to say you're dumping it, not to say you're offloading the responsibility and giving it to somebody else to fix for you. No. The Creator is not going to fix your problem. He's going to help you. He's going to make it much easier for you to be able to fix your own problems. That's how it works. If you want to take it on yourself, you may find successes, but they're going to come at a very, very high price. If you enlist him in your challenges, then you overcome your challenges easily and effectively. You don't have to suffer through them. Remember, we said that he prescribes how much suffering, but we determine how much we suffer. Same idea. He says, here's your challenge. If I take it on my own, then the suffering is amped up. If I bring him on board, then there's almost no suffering. You get it? It's a beautiful, beautiful idea. But let's drill down deep a little bit over here. Our Creator doesn't torment a person without reason. Just like a father wouldn't make a challenging situation for their child unless it was absolutely necessary, like getting that child to walk. A child who's scooting around on his bum or on all fours because they haven't learned how to walk yet. Eventually, they're going to have to learn how to walk. Eventually, they're going to have to stand up and take a few steps. And if they don't, as good parents, we try to encourage them. We lift them up. We hold their hands. And we bring them along the way. And when's their first real test of the challenge of Emuna? In their father, because remember, as a toddler, your father is your God, right? Your parents are your God. They're the ones who wake up and let the sun out every morning, right? So when your parents holding your hand and they're guiding you on your first few steps, and then they let go, that's the first big challenge. What are you doing? Why are you letting go of me? I'm going to fall and I'm going to hurt myself. And in fact, it's exactly what happens. They fall and it's not comfortable and they end up crying. It's not fun. But you know what happens after that? They pick back up again and they try again and again and again, as long as it takes until they walk. And the parent will be by their side every single attempt. Why? Because that parent wants that child to walk. It's not optional. If they fail, they fail, so they won't walk. It's not how it works. We will not give up on that child. We will move that child through the motions until they learn how to walk. Some are earlier, some are later. But the challenge is delivered by the parent by letting go of that child's hand, where the child looks back at the parent with those eyes like, you didn't really just let go, right? That is us. It's the same idea. He does it to us. He puts us through these tribulations, big or small, in order to build us up, to make us stronger, to test us. Can you do this? Can you do it now? Is now the right time? Let's test you out. Why do we have tribulations in the first place? A person who suffers from tribulations first needs to ask himself this question. Very, very important. Am I happy with my lot in life? Remember, who is the one who is wealthy? The one who is happy with his lot in life. And am I pleased with myself? Not is anybody else pleased with me, but am I pleased with myself? Obviously, there's a litmus test. What should determine whether or not I should be pleased with myself? And the answer is, am I doing His will? Am I following the instruction manual? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? If you're doing that, then you should be proud of yourself. You're bringing goodness into the world. You're positive. You're optimistic. You're doing good things to actively make this world a better place, which means by default, you're not doing the opposite. You're not doing the things that could be bringing this world down, which too many people are doing today. Look around, guys, every day. I mean, you guys see what's going on in Mexico today. I keep telling you guys this. This is the stuff we're trying to avoid. These things are the things that I'm trying to repair, to stop. These outbreaks, these needless, senseless killings and wars and fightings and corruption. It's all about money and power. That's all this is about on such a high level. We deal with it. The average person deals with that desire for money and power on such a small level. You know, we're working in an office and we've got coworkers and everybody's trying to get ahead and make a few extra bucks and get a promotion. That's our sense of challenge for power and wealth. These guys in Mexico, a bunch of drug cartels. They make their money shipping drugs around the world. They're more powerful and probably wealthier than the government in Mexico. They run Mexico. And what's it all for? They will slaughter people, tourists, in their hotel rooms. They will turn the country inside out and upside down. Why? For power, to hold on to power and that ability to make money in a way that is easy and abundant. They will hold on. They will do whatever it takes to be able to hold on to that power. Just look. They've turned the whole country upside down. They've destroyed vacations for people. Thousands and tens of thousands of people's lives have been disrupted by this. And now it could get even worse. They're saying that if their demands aren't met, they're going to go into hotel rooms and take out families. Guys, just think about where humanity has fallen to. That's why we're doing this podcast. That's why you're listening, because we're not happy with the status quo. We're not happy with the bill of goods we've been sold. We're not happy with secularism and the corrupt way that humanity's been operating. It's time for change. It's time for positive change. That power is in our hands. We are the same people who are allowing this to persist. We have to be that change. It says that everyone should see his or her own special talents and beauty, the good points and the good deeds, and especially the good desires. No one seeks to deliberately violate God's will. Nobody runs around unless you've been really corrupted, thinking, how can I go against Torah intentionally? There are the minority, for sure, and thank God they're the minority. I just saw a video the other day of my Rabbi Mizrahi, debating that I posted online. In my opinion, everybody needs to watch it. It's an unbelievable video. It's in Hebrew, so you got to speak Hebrew. But he's going up against somebody who simply hates Torah. Hates Torah, and you could see that everything that he does, his entire purpose, his entire existence is just to undermine the Torah. There are people out there that are like this. They're anarchists. They're the people who look to turn the world on its head just to get kicks out of it. Really, the reason they do it is because they've turned their lives on their heads. They're living such a corrupt lifestyle that the only real way to accept their own lifestyle is by putting everybody else's down. And where's the best place to start? At the opposite end of the spectrum. If I'm living a most indecent and corrupt lifestyle, then I need to go to the person who operates exactly opposite of me, and I need to bring them down to their knees. I need to discredit them entirely. That way, I'll give myself credit. And that's how they operate. And therefore they dedicate their entire existence to dismantling Torah at every opportunity. It never works out for them. If you speak Hebrew, watch this video and you will see a great example of how it simply doesn't work out. Truth always prevails, always wins, and falsehood and lies always fall on their face. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. A person should love himself and rejoice in himself, looking at himself in a positive light. You have to be positive. It goes back to our conversation just yesterday. You can't come into this relationship with your Creator and expect success when you're coming in darkness, when you're blindfolded, when you're in a fog and a haze of negativity and despair. It doesn't work. First, you need to look at yourself positively. Be happy with yourself, your accomplishments to date, and your abilities to continue to do more tomorrow. Then the whole process starts. A person who can't see his or her own beauty is not capable of believing in the Creator. We talked about that yesterday. I want to end with this. Our Creator says to each of his creations, "My beloved child, even though you have much to rectify," in other words, even though you've sinned, even though you've done so many bad things, which we all have, nobody is guilt-free. "I love you. I'm satisfied with you. I do everything for your ultimate good. And furthermore, I love you. So why don't you love yourself? I'm happy with you. So why aren't you happy with yourself? I'm proud of you. So why don't you see that you have plenty to be proud of? I'm waiting for you and not prodding you. So why are you persecuting yourself? Why don't you believe in yourself that I love you?" Now, I want to clarify this, and we'll end with this. It's easy to say these words, but I want to qualify them. God is happy with you when you're doing the things that you're supposed to do. He's not happy with you when you're doing the things that you're not supposed to do. Let's be clear on that. You can't be a murderer. You can't be somebody who goes against his Torah and expect that he's going to be proud of you. That he loves you, different story. And there is a very big difference. I always say in my life that I don't hate anybody. I may hate their actions. I may hate their choices, because they don't make good ones. They haven't been taught. They've been corrupted. We've been talking about that for a long time. So I can't necessarily blame them all the time. Sometimes I certainly could and should blame them because they're adults and they should be making better decisions, or they should be getting that better education to help them make better decisions. So at one point, blame falls, no question. But generally speaking, I don't hate the individual. The individual is a diamond in the rough. They've been covered by layers of dirt and grime and filth and lies and brainwashing for sometimes a generation. And it makes sense that they would struggle to make good decisions. So for them, I don't hate them. God forbid. There's always a door open for people to come back, because as long as they're above ground, they can change. As long as they're around another day to improve their lives, I don't care how old they are, they can change. Now, the older you get, the harder it becomes to impact real positive change. So you better get started on it early, my friend. The longer you leave it, the harder it's going to be. You will get to a point where, like King Solomon in his wisdom said, Yemei shnatenu behem shivim shana. Our days of our lives are 70 years. In other words, those are your useful days, 70 years. Once you get to 70, if you haven't impacted those positive changes, my friends, good luck. Good luck, because it becomes exponentially harder, if not impossible. Bottom line, we don't hate anybody. We can hate actions. We can hate choices. But the individual we love, because they can always do the right thing and make their lives better. Have an amazing day, my friends. Thank you for spending time with us on the Trust Factor podcast. If you've heard something today that moved you, save this episode and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss upcoming conversations that challenge, empower, and uplift. And if you're on social media, connect with us. Leave your thoughts. Drop a quote that resonated with you. Hashtag the Trust Factor podcast. Until next time, keep growing in your trust and keep living with purpose. I'm Jesse Revivo, and this has been the Trust Factor podcast. Thanks for listening.